Good afternoon, everyone. You're probably like, where's the PowerPoint? Where is it? It's not up yet because I want to see all of your faces, especially Christie's. Look at that smile. Yay! And I really want everyone, if possible, like, it makes me so happy to see Paula. If you guys could come off, come on. Yes, Casey, I want to see everybody. And we're going to get to, we do not have a keynote speaker like we typically do, because we want to talk about your needs. But when I show this PowerPoint here in a second, start thinking about sharing and sharing your priorities that you at your organization, who you are, your organization, and some of the priorities that you're looking at for this upcoming fall or for this upcoming school year. So, welcome, so many of you. Let's see if I hit admit all, I think. Oh, here we go. And the people that are just coming in now, I'm going to have to just call them out. It's going to be funny. I'm just going to be like, hey, let me see you. A lot of otters. Oh my goodness. A lot of otters. Okay. Let me share my screen and we will get going. Happy first week of school for almost everyone. It's exciting to think that our 2025-2020 school year is up and going. You will see that our PowerPoint is just a little bit different because we have a new backbone team with the Office of Childhood and Mo Desi and Blair Oaks School District, which is supporting our work in all 7 regions, and this one is one of 7, the St. Louis region. Now, as I think most of you guys know, my name's Lisa Greening. I'm with Turn the Page STL. I'm one of the 3 community leaders here in the St. Louis region. And many people question why a literacy organization would be so dedicated in the early childhood space. Well, I don't have to explain that to anyone on this call because literacy starts at birth. Tiffany was unable to join us today, but will be joining us the rest of the year. She is a teacher of juniors and seniors in high school and for the St. Charles School District who are interested in becoming early childhood providers. So it's a really fun, unique model that they have in St. Charles. And Kelly, I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you, Lisa. So I am Dr. Kelly Hantuck. I am the Senior Manager of Quality Assurance and Data for United for Children. We have programs throughout the state. We're housed in St. Louis, but provide nutrition and inclusion services across Missouri. And then we offer education, coaching, and evaluations in the St. Louis area. So I am the newest community leader with Tiffany and Lisa. I've worked with each of them individually, and I'm really excited to be part of the team.
And I just keep letting more and more people in. So remind me if you see anybody in the waiting room that I'm not
Okay,
paying attention to. And I'll let you go ahead, Kelly, and we'll start with our agenda.
great, terrific. So, welcome everybody. As I said, I'm the newest community leader with this group. And so I am excited to work with folks that I've worked with in the past and then working with folks that I haven't met yet. So, um, I appreciate everybody taking time out of their schedules and joining us today. As you see, um, we have a full packed agenda, even though our meeting is a little bit structured differently today. So we will be doing introductions. We're going to have a conversation about what programs and efforts sponsored by the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education do we want to learn more about? And that's going to guide our future meetings. We're going to talk about our St. Louis Childhood Community Leader monthly e-newsletter that you will be receiving. You're also going to be invited to join our Facebook group page if you have not. And so we'll talk about that. And then, of course, every meeting we talk about Missouri Family Resources and the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. And then we'll end today by talking about our upcoming meeting schedule.
Awesome. All right, so this is the fun part. This is I feel the meat of our presentation, and it's a great way to start out the year. So as I said to some people that were still in the waiting room, I would like everybody to turn on their video, and I'm gonna start calling somebody, asking you to introduce your name, your organization. I'll put this all in the chat. And what are your organization's fall 2025 priorities and initiatives? Or I said for school year. Um, I truly believe that when we all kind of meet together, the web gets tighter and more of us can help and support each other. So I'm going to stop share because Christy Roberts taught me this. Stop share so you can see everybody. Um, so do I have everybody in out of Kelly? You're gonna have to tell me if there's still people in the waiting room. Okay. And in the chat, oh, the chat filled with otters. I'm going to start by asking Christy Roberts. Tell us your name, your organization, and what are some of your organization's priorities?
Hi, Lisa. My name's Christy Roberts, and joining me is Melanie Fitzgerald, or we call her Mel, or she goes by Mel. But anyway, her and I are consultants with the Center for Child Wellbeing, which is we are consultants for the early Infant Early Childhood Mental Health Initiative, which was just launched in January. So, what we do and what we are promoting as the new school year starts is our professional development, free for teachers in the classroom. And then we offer teacher consultation for those teachers that may have challenging behaviors in the classroom that are disrupting all kinds of things. But we want to keep children from getting suspended or kicked out of programs, but we want to also keep teachers in the classroom because that has been known to be the biggest stressor for teachers is that they are stressed and they need support. So that's what we do, and we are wanting to spread the word, especially with Mel joining me, and Tracy Stanton is also a consultant in the St. Louis area. So
Welcome, Mel. And Christy, really quickly, you guys are statewide. What is your footprint like here in St. Louis? Or am I
you
asking
mean
them?
where we go?
Yeah, where do you go in St.
Um,
Louis? Everywhere?
Yes, we go. We have a consultant down in the Cape region, so we'll go as south as Cape Girardeau,
Nice.
as north as we really haven't gotten much north, but we go north, so northeast, and then down to Cape, and then over to
Nice.
Columbia because Columbia we have consultants in Columbia, so pretty
Awesome.
much eastern down
So
to
you're
Cape.
everywhere. You're everywhere. Everybody
Yeah,
here could utilize the services.
I
All
hope.
right. I hope so too. I think it's awesome. Hey, Christy, why don't you call in somebody else? We're just going to do it that way. Otherwise, I'll
Right?
prioritize. Go ahead.
Next to me is Larry Felton.
Well, where should I start? My background is with the Melville School District. I was on the board for 15 years. Most of my work has been with the School Board Association. I'm also working with a group with the early educators trying to establish a county-wide early childhood district. So most of my work is in education and primarily looking at pre-K areas.
That's wonderful, Larry. And just for everyone to know, this is and tell me if I'm wrong, Larry, this is a bill proposed in Jefferson City that would create an early childhood school district in St. Louis County, much
Right.
like special school district is in
Last
St.
year
Louis.
it was Senate Bill 233, and
Okay,
it'll be refiled this year.
thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
Larry.
I'll be in the middle of that one.
I know you will. I know. Larry, call in somebody.
I can't see the name, so the person's to the
Oh.
right of me.
I think we're all scrambled up. I'm gonna call Michaela King.
Because I don't have video. I've got a power shortage here, so I'm just on audio.
No worries. I just called on somebody.
Can you hear me, Lisa?
Uh-huh.
Wonderful. Well, my name is Michaela King, and I am the Outreach Program Manager for the Office of Childhood under DESE. This is my first month in this position, so I am learning all things. But as far as our initiative is to make those connections with you all and to be the resource, and also to be able to connect you to things within the Office of Childhood and DESE. And so I am going to put my information in the chat. So if you have things, be looking for that. I hope that you're getting our newsletter. And so that's all things me. And I will turn it over to Molly Hawthorne or Lawthorne. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Molly Lawhorn, and I also am in outreach at the Missouri School for the Blind. I'm the MOSPN coordinator, and I'm the lead parent advisor. So I'm in my first month of working here, so I'm just learning a lot. But my background was an early childhood teacher from preschool to kindergarten for many years. So I'm very happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to learning from all of you.
Thank you, Molly, and welcome.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Anybody wants to know more about the services that the Missouri School for the Blind provides? Contact Molly.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll pick Thay.
Hi, I'm Faye Meyer. I'm also with the outreach department at Missouri School for the Blind. I'm the family engagement coordinator. This coming up school year, we're really wanting to focus on the transition ages and reaching like the VI families, the deaf blind families. So those that have kiddos in like the 3 to 4 range that are getting ready to start kindergarten, and then also the older ones from like 14 to 21 that could be, you know, transitioning to college or, you know, programs after high school. So those are our goals for this coming up like fall. We also have a trunk or treat that'll be coming up in October, on October 30th too.
Welcome to put that in the chat about the trunk or treat, and you can post it on our Facebook page, which at the end we'll share more information about that. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
I just want to jump in here because one of the priorities our country has right now, based on research, is helping children transition to kindergarten. It is one of our huge bumps in our education, so much so that when we look at children with literacy, they enter kindergarten living in poverty about a 6-point skill difference than their middle class peers. By the end of kindergarten, that increases to 11%, and that inequity continues throughout the rest of their education. So we've really got to study that kindergarten piece, and I love that the Missouri School for the Blind is focusing on that. So thank you. Thea, you want to call
Let's see. Melanie Fitzgerald.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mel Fitzgerald, and as Christy shared, I work with her. I've been there about a month now at the Infant and Early Childhood Mental Health Consultant Team out of the University of Missouri Columbia. And like she shared, we use a multi-tiered system of support to support educators so that they can support children and families. And I'm just looking forward to getting into the work. And please know that we provide free professional development across the state. It can be either virtual or in person. And our consulting is also in person in all the areas across the state. So we have consultants everywhere. So contact us if you guys need anything. Nice to see everybody. I see some familiar faces out there, Kimberly and Shauna. Hello, everybody. Oh, I gotta pick
Hey.
somebody. Okay. Let's see. How about Paula?
Hi everyone, my name is Paula Brayon Vickers. I'm the Director of Early Childhood Power Building at WePower. One of the big things we're working on right now is driving the Child Care Voter campaign, so engaging St. Louis area families, so both St. Louis City and County, in conversations of what it looks like to vote with the best interests of our children that are 0 to 5. And you'll be receiving some emails from me soon to talk to you all about another opportunity that we're looking at for potentially having some funding in St. Louis City be sought out. It's nice to meet you all, and I'm going to pass it to my girl, Casey, because she already knew.
Really quickly, Paula, do you have access to the St. Louis Region Community Leader roster that you can send that information out to?
I don't
If not,
have
I
the
can.
roster, but I would love it.
Okay, I'll do that.
Oh, and then can I lift up something really quick? It's not for me, but I'll lift it up really, really quick if that's okay.
Sure.
So WePower is participating in a study, I guess, called Transforming Conversations. It's through Move, and it looks at how people are voting and why they're voting like the way they vote. So if you are familiar with me, that's great, and I love you. And you might be receiving emails from someone named Brianna that is interning with our team. It's not a scam, but she is looking to have conversations with people. So if you are open to having a conversation with her, that would be great. But also if you can connect her with people that live in St. Louis City or County, that would be great as well. This helps to look at when we get into like voting times, how we can have better conversations so that people are voting with the interests of children 0 to 5.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Go ahead, Casey.
Yeah, I did prepare just a couple of slides because I have links for you guys too. And sorry, Lisa, because I
Excellent.
sent them very late, but I
Oh,
dropped it in the chat. It's a Google, so you should be able to access the link. So I'm Casey Hansen. I'm the Deputy Director with Kids Win Missouri. We're a statewide organization working on policy and advocacy for children's issues and a lot of early childhood work. I live in St. Louis, though, so happy to be here with you all and wanted to talk about a couple of exciting things we have going on for the fall and then just an announcement for the spring. So biggest thing this fall is we are, fingers crossed, launching a program in a couple of months that we're calling Child Care Works. You might have heard us advocating at different points throughout the year for some additional funding in the state budget to start a child care cost sharing model. So that's been officially, we branded to Child Care Works. And the idea here is that communities that are able to participate and access the funds would be able to set up a cost sharing program in their community to help split the cost of child care for families between the state, their employer or their community, and then the parent. So hopefully bringing more childcare assistance to families that don't qualify for subsidy, don't qualify for Head Start or any of those things. But there's this opportunity for hopefully their employers to start investing more and really helping to offset the cost of childcare for families making up to 550% of federal poverty. So this will be launching. Like I said, we're waiting on a couple of funding decisions and other things, but we do have a landing page and a website. So if you go to that website, sign up and you'll get all of the information about Child Care Works. If you're an employer, this is, look at this for possible benefit for your employees too, and how you can hopefully leverage some state funding to help offset that. And then I will point out, because I see them on the line too, Gateway Early Childhood Alliance is kind of our partner in St. Louis, who's setting themselves up to hopefully administer the program here. So, Tamika and Mary, connect with them too, to learn more about kind of what's happening locally with that. And then also just announced Child Advocacy Day will be March 25th, 2026. So everybody is always looking for that one. New this year, we're going to have a little half-day conference the day before. The conference probably won't be open to all 500 people that normally attend Child Advocacy Day, but we're hoping to bring in 100 or have 150 slots for that conference. And that'll just be a couple of advocacy trainings leading up, and hopefully a fun reception. And then typical Child Advocacy Day will be the next day. We'll still do our online and virtual workshops too, so don't worry, but more information coming about that soon. Just wanted you to get the date on your calendar and start making your plans. And then finally, we are actively working to build our priorities for the 2026, oh my gosh, 2026 legislative session. And so if you would like to join a work group, we have 3 work groups. So early childhood is one of our childcare and early education is our early childhood work group. And we also have a health and mental health and a child welfare work group. So if you are interested in any of those, it's a great place to come and network with other folks that work on these issues, but also to kind of help us build out priorities going into the 2026 legislative session. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Casey. Miss Carradine.
Hi, Casey,
Hey.
this question is for you. Many moons ago, when my children were young, my employer offered pre-taxed childcare deduction. So they would take the money out that I would pay for childcare before taxes and then send the check to the provider. Is that something that you guys are looking at? Because that might save parents some money as well.
Yeah, I mean, that exists. And so another little nuanced thing that we worked on that will also work in accordance with Childcare Works is making some changes to the federal employer provided childcare tax credit. So I think the type of program you're talking about, like a cafeteria or savings plan, I think employers have been able to deduct some of that investment via a tax credit, but that tax credit was actually just expanded. So this would work a little bit differently than what you're talking about exactly, but I actually think like parents will end up paying significantly less because it's leveraging, state dollars and employer dollars, and then the parents paying what's left over then. So for some parents, it's going to cover like, 2/3 of the cost of their childcare. And when you add in like the federal tax credits and stuff for employers, we calculated like in some instances, the employer could invest like 1/6 of what the cost of the childcare is, but be able to leverage, 2/3 of that cost to cover it for the family. So I will warn everybody, we didn't get the full amount of funding that we asked for. We only got a certain amount of funding. So obviously in the first year, there's only going to be a certain amount of slots available. But I think we are hoping if we can prove the case, show that it works, and really get parents and employers interested, that will build demand so that they'll fund it more. And we're also working a little bit at the federal level to see if there's any potential to get federal funds that could support something like this too. So that was more than you asked or answered, but I tried.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Casey, call your next person. Or
I'm sorry.
Marcia, you can go ahead. Ms. Carradine, how?
Okay, I was trying to unmute myself. Hello, everyone.
Oh.
I've been gone for a while, very busy over the summer, screening and working with parents, trying to navigate the new focus system and get their kids enrolled and screenings, things like that. But I'm happy to be back. I am a parent educator with Riverview Gardens School District. My name is Marcia Carradine. I've been a parent educator now since 2018. Prior to that, I worked as a 2-year-old classroom teacher. So I am really fond of the little ones, and I love what I do. I love what I do.
And anything that you're looking at, Marcia, and I'll refocus everybody, that you're looking at as parents, as teachers, or Riverview Gardens for this upcoming priorities for this upcoming year?
I think our biggest thing is to make sure that all of our kiddos get screened in the Riverview Gardens School District.
Mhm.
And then once they've been screened, referred, if needed, to get the additional screening that they would need. So we've done a pretty good job of doing that thus far. So we had a little over 50 referrals over the summer, and some for speech, some for occupational therapy, but also getting the screening out to the parents in the community, letting them know that it's free, and also kindergarten roundup. So I was able to screen a few kiddos prior to entering kindergarten, which is a big help to the kindergarten teacher and also to the parent, and then getting the child maybe on the list if they need more. So that's our biggest thing is screening.
Great. I hope all districts are pushing in like that. Hey, Mary, I know you've got a lot, Mary Crockett Smith. I know that you have a lot on your going on. You want to introduce yourself? And maybe even give a little discussion about the tornado relief efforts.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Mary Crockett Smith. I am representing the Christian Academy and Gateway Alliance. I work with the tornado relief program. A lot of us did in our area. It was a tremendous effort to make sure that child care centers were able to function properly in a safe manner, as far as in providing food, going shopping, hauling off, waste grants for those who we could help immediately, and for those we could not help immediately, getting them support in every facet. Just St. Louis coming together in hubs were diapers and food and formula and replacing food that was lost in the refrigerators. We have put forth an effort to work as a team to make sure that all the needs that we could handle were handled immediately in an expeditious way. So that's what the tornado relief was about. We're still trying to wrap that up and make sure everyone has what they need. And if not immediate support, long-term support like FEMA, insurance, helping out with insurance payments, deposits, etc., as much as we can, work as a collaborative group. And it was everyone working together in the St. Louis area, and it was headed, I believe, by Gateway and We Power with Tamika and Charlie. So that's but a little bit about me. I am a teacher by trade. I taught middle school and high school, math and elementary for years, for 13 years. And I did some administration. And then I got into early education after my dissertation. I wanted to figure out why my children in my classroom were not learning. I had these students who I just could not teach their grade level curriculum to. So after years of service and looking into what was wrong, we needed to go at the beginning of the race and not the middle. So that's when I started early education 24 years ago with the Christian Academy 2, etc. And I've been working in this field as an advocate for children and trying to make sure they go to school reading and mathematically and self-supportive ready for the last 24 years. I absolutely love what I do. I will die leaving this earth. They'll probably get me from this desk right here doing the work for children. It is a calling on my life, and I'm honored to be here.
I'm honored always to be in your presence, Mary. Kara with the public library. I'm gonna try to, I know we're gonna talk for a little bit longer. Kara, introduce yourself.
Hello. Hi, I'll go quick. So I'm Kara Grimm-Denholm. I'm the youth program coordinator for St. Louis Public Library. We have been making a concerted effort to inject more early literacy practices into our story times. So that's going to be a real focus this year in branch with programming. We're doing a lot more elements of that good early literacy practices that we can both educate parents on how to take that learning home and also start kids off while they're in the library. Our early childhood outreach team is also still out in the community doing story times at local daycare and childcare centers all over the city, as well as out in like the parks, at the museums in Forest Park, a bunch of other places. So if you know of a center or a spot that you would like to host a St. Louis Public Library Storytime at, please reach out. We would love to set something up with you.
And if you're in St. Louis County, I can set you up in the county for those same services, or if you're in St. Charles County, we can set you up for those services. Thank you, Kara. Christina Horton.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Christy Horton. I'm with Mercy Kids Autism Center. I am a social worker here. One of our goals is pretty much always the goal. Big picture is to get as many kids past our waiting list to diagnose to evaluate and then diagnose if necessary for autism. But to go along with that, the ultimate goal through that and in my own team is to ensure that children are getting the proper services and supports as early as possible to ensure the best possible outcomes for them. This time of the year, our large focus is transitioning kids into early childhood at that age, kindergarten, support parents in working through the IEP process, and as concerns at school do arise, supporting families and the best way to collaborate with the school so both the teachers and students are able to be successful in the classroom. So glad to be here. Thank you.
Wonderful. As I keep going, Stephanie.
Hello, I'm one of the newer ones probably to the group. I'm Stephanie Lautenschlager, and I am the Vice President of Strategy and Development for Gateway Early Childhood Alliance. And so I started in June, and it's been a fast and furious summer catching up with all the things that are happening as we conclude the planning process of what we're now implementing. And so the biggest focus for us is we have a couple big deadlines coming up that were referenced with the Child Care Works information. September 1st is our first deadline, and we're just trying for funding both from employers that want to invest in their employees and from philanthropic funders that are interested in making this accessible to anyone who needs it. And so it'll be a rolling deadline over the next year. So every quarter we'll have a new opportunity to submit and ask for more funding and report on how things are going. And so we will continue to fundraise until we can get it all taken care of.
Funds go, Stephanie? Do they go directly to the child care? Where would the funds go? Do they go to the child care center or to the family?
So this is where I'm sharing my screen now. This is what was referenced with the child care works piece. So say if a parent is currently paying $15,000 a year and say that they have an employer that will invest $5,240, that actually unleashes a match from the state if they qualify for that match. And then their costs become only $3,520. And
That's
so
what Casey was talking about.
that is what Casey was talking about. So I was pulling this up to make sure, like, to be able to bring the connection to it. And because there is a tax benefit for employers right now, it actually only ends up costing, which is this last column, costing employers $2,620 per person that they invest in. And so that looks very different for various employers. Some employers are only investing in those that would benefit from the state match. And others are saying, we'll give anybody who has a kid 0 to 5 additional $1,000, or investing the whole $5,240. So we're looking to really continue to create more seats. And we anticipate that the seats will, we were anticipating October 1st being the first opportunity that there would be money towards these seats. We were informed in just a call about a couple hours ago that it will likely be more like November 1st. So
two really quick questions. One, does this money go directly to the family or to the child care provider?
Neither. So it goes to
go
a
ahead, Casey.
system. It goes to a system called Tutris, which is there's a lot of things that are still like being fully approved, but what we anticipate is that our child care funds will be managing it, both in the city and the county, and then our child care service funds. And Tutris is a platform that does this tri-share model, and so employers will actually deposit and invest over to the child care fund service, or child care service funds, or the Alliance, and we'll push that over there. And then each of the child care providers will be in the same system, and the parent will be in the same system. And so the parent will be able to see that that money has been deposited, and all of that then gets funneled directly to the child care provider that is then signed up to receive it.
That is phenomenal.
Casey, did I say anything wrong, or anything else you'd add to that?
Yeah, I would just add, I should say we proposed to collaborate with Child Care Aware of Missouri to administer these funds, Kids Win Missouri and Child Care Aware of Missouri. And so Tutris is also the same platform that they are in the process of, I think, having the referral database. So it's kind of all going to be part of the same thing, hopefully. So Child Care Works will integrate with kind of the regular resource and referral as well, which will be really nice. So that's the only thing I would add.
And I will only add real quick is that Gateway Early Childhood Alliance is for St. Louis County and St. Louis City. I love our St. Charles people here on this call, but when will your strategic plan, your finalized strategic plan, Stephanie, be public?
It is in its final editing stages, but otherwise it is there. And so we're done kind of in the planning. We're executing right now and talking with employers and funders. And I had something that you said right before that. The other thing is that our team will continue to grow and be able to have support for providers. That's where Dr. Mary comes into place, that she'll be able to help providers make this seamless for them and make it, and the system is actually really, really easy. And Tutris themselves work with HR departments all the time. And so there's that benefit. And then on the philanthropy side, it really is a check or a transfer and will be super easy for them too. The other element of what I'll mention is that if you are a provider and you are if you have employees that have kids that are going to in your center, and you're giving that at a discount or free, you should consider signing up as an employer, because you may have the chance then to put that money and invest in it and get the money back from the state match. because most of your workers will be able to hit that state match, which then gives you money in the door that you weren't receiving before.
That's fantastic. So just to clarify, the Gateway Early Childhood Alliance will work in St. Louis City and County to disperse those funds. But this is statewide, and so those funds statewide, whether it's from the employer or the tax whatever, Tetris is a system that Child Care Aware of Missouri will be providing statewide.
Correct. Because in Kansas City, Springfield, Columbia, there's already other groups that are working on the same initiative and something very similar. So it is statewide to be able to do it all, implement it all the same.
Tetris. Okay. Awesome. You guys keep coming. And I'm going to just let Kimberly and Shauna come off mute just to introduce yourselves. And then we'll get back to the PowerPoint.
Hi, I'm Shauna Corcoran, and I am one of the coordinators of the Missouri Childhood Community Leader work across the state, and excited to hear all the great resources that are being shared here today. So thank you for joining the stakeholder meeting.
Hi. Yes, my name is Kimberly Weekly. I'm the assistant coordinator for Missouri Childhood Community Leaders. I'm also very excited to be here and hearing all of these wonderful things. Everybody on here is about creating strong, connected communities where families can have those resources that they need for our children to have a strong foundation for life. So anybody who knows me knows I'm very passionate about this work. And I'm just looking so forward to supporting your wonderful community leaders and seeing us all make a really difference in our Missouri children's lives. So thank you for having me.
Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, Shauna. Anybody else want to share something? You know, you're all lucky with the ones that have their video off that we're running out of time because I'd call you out. I'm just kidding. Let's see here. That's not right. Are you guys seeing the slides or my emails?
The slide.
We're seeing
the slides. Oh, good. All of a sudden I'm seeing my emails. Okay. So next step. So we convene monthly. We strongly believe that if you can attend every month, then that connections, that communication will get stronger and stronger and stronger. We have some upcoming programs, thanks to many of you who have asked to learn more specifically from initiatives out of the Office of Childhood, which Kelly's going to share with you. But if you have ideas or programs that you would like to learn more about, put that in the chat and or email me or just come off mute and say something. But Kelly, I'm going to let you go ahead with the next slide.
Okay, sorry, took me a minute to get my mouse to work right. So our upcoming scheduled speakers for September, we will be having Melissa Newkirk from the University of Missouri, Kansas City Institute for Human Development discuss with us about the quality assurance report and anything that is new and updated with QAR. We are also having a speaker come and speak with us about the screening tools that are approved by the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. And then we're also going to receive updates on the Missouri Professional Development or MOPD system. And hear what's new, exciting, and any changes that are coming up. I'm not sure if there's anything else to talk about that because we don't know what the new changes are. That's why we're having them come. And I do know that there's been several questions being asked. I know that we've had conversations about accurate information and making sure that we're all calibrated and on the same page. So I'm excited to learn what those are.
That's great. Anybody can come off mute if they have other suggestions, or like I said, put them in the chat and we'll get back with you. Something that Dr. March notified me of yesterday is that MoDESI is going to be releasing an innovation grant soon. So that's even more money that we need to get to our early childhood providers. More information about that is coming out. If it comes out before our next meeting, I watch your emails because I'll be sending it and I'll be posting about it, so that we can continue to support our kids and families. You will also receive by next week our monthly e-newsletter. If you would like any information to be in that monthly e-newsletter, just send it to me. But mostly it will be a recording of our meeting today and the slide deck and any big aha moments that we had and stuff that's going on with the Office of Childhood. And by the way, I can't see everyone, so if you do want to say something, just talk, because I'm not going to be able to see everyone. Did you know we have a Facebook group? I bet you did, and I bet you're a member of it. So not only do we are starting to get a lot more traction of people posting on it, but please post on our Facebook St. Louis Region Childhood Community Leader group. It is not it is a group page, so it's just us that are seeing this, and post on it and get the information out. Kelly?
So I'm going to go back to the Facebook group really quickly. If you have dropped a flyer into the chat, I have actually picked it up. Christy Roberts, I sent you a message because that one I cannot open. But if you've dropped it, I have it in here and we can actually post it to the Facebook page for you. So you don't need to do that. But at any point in time, if you have a flyer, yes, please go in and post it to our Facebook page. Missouri Family Resources. So we will be talking about Missouri Family Resources and Dolly Parton Imagination Library probably every month. It is a huge initiative across the state. If you have not used it, it is a wonderful database. We have the QR code here for you. You can scan the QR code and then it will take you to the MFR, Missouri Family Resources database. You type in the zip code that you are looking for resources. At the top of the page, there are several tabs. You click on the tab and it will tell you which agencies or organization provide that particular service within that zip code. So I often have questions about, okay, I'm in the 63112 zip code, but the organization is located in 63114. That means that, yes, they are located in a different zip code, but they will provide services to the 63112 zip code. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us and we're happy to help you. I use Missouri Family Resources probably weekly with our staff and educators and families that we serve because people are always looking for something. And it is a wonderful tool to utilize to link families and providers to the resources that they need within their communities. And then we also, so Lisa, if you want to move to the next slide, we have the Missouri's Dolly Parton Imagination Library. So if you know of a child from birth, I think it goes up to age 5, feel free to share the QR code out with all of your families for them to register so their child can receive a book at no cost on a monthly basis. It is mailed to their home. And the families that I know who receive the books actually, like, they will call me and say, hey, did you see the new book? My child absolutely loves it. So it is a wonderful way to promote literacy and reading across the state. And Dolly's a pretty cool person. So we appreciate her sponsorship of the library in Missouri.
Awesome. So we meet the third Wednesday of every month from 12:30 to 1:30 virtually. Our next meeting is September 17th. You should all have gotten a calendar invite actually for the whole school year. So that should be in your calendar. If not, just reach out to me. Please feel free to invite people that you don't think that need to be at this table that you don't think is at this table. Would love to make sure that we're reaching everybody and that we're collaborating and organizing from the local level up to the state level.
So in monitoring the chat,
Yes.
Shauna, thank you. You brought up a really great point. Please go into MFR, look up your program and make sure that the information is correct. If it's not, you can click on the suggestion button, make the correction or the update, and MFR will take care of it for you. Or if you run into any problems, reach out to Lisa, Tiffany, or myself. And then, yes, Paula, kids love getting mail. So with the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, the books come in the child's name. So that's pretty exciting for them. And then, Lisa, there's a message for you. Please send Mary and I the meeting invitation. Tamika forwarded the one this month, and we don't have all of them.
Wait, what?
In the
Sorry.
chat, Stephanie is saying to you to add and send Mary and her the meeting invitations. Tamika forwarded the one for this month, and we don't have all of them. So she's
Okay.
asking for all of the upcoming meeting dates.
Sure will. Absolutely.
So now I'm ready. Any questions for us?
Can I answer Larry's question out loud really quick? Sorry.
Yes.
I was going to say on the cost sharing, schools can participate a number of ways. They could participate as an employer. So, you know, providing that employer cost share for their employees, or potentially as a provider if they meet the qualifications. So they either have to be licensed or license exempt and accepting subsidy, I believe. And then I will say though, because there is a lot of pre-K money and there's subsidy, I think it's important to point out you can't combine these funds with any of those other programs. So if someone's receiving subsidy, they receive subsidy, they don't participate in Child Care Works. And if they're receiving pre-K through MOPE QPK or foundation formula, they're not getting Child Care Works, if that makes sense. And then the other question on the innovation grants, I don't know if anyone, the guidance isn't out yet on those. I've heard it's coming very soon, but if you go back to the innovation grants during like the funding relief period, which I think you can still access on the Early Connections website, I believe they're using those terms and conditions to model the new program. So I don't remember if that one was open to schools, but you might look there unless someone from DESE is on the call and knows any more.
I'm not going to call out anybody from Modesi, but I will tell you guys that as soon as it is clear and clarified, you will be notified. And you will, and we want you to then forward that to all of your colleagues. Does anybody else, I see like 2 new faces on here. Does anybody who hasn't had a chance to talk want to end this meeting with what their name, organization, and their plans for this upcoming year? Or thoughts about topics that you would like us to cover in upcoming meetings?
I can, Lisa. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Go ahead, Molly.
I just wanted to say a little bit about the MoSpin program. We serve children and their parents from 0 to 5 with a visual impairment. So we work with, like, I was just in a training and Shauna was there, so she's a familiar face. But I think it's really important to support these parents when they're, if they have a child with a visual impairment or multisensory, whatever it is, that we're here. So I was just looking at the chat and adding to the family resources, seeing if we're there. So anyway, I'm new and I'm very excited. So thank you.
Wonderful. That is so wonderful. Anything else? All right, guys, have a wonderful beginning of the school year, and wonderful continuing of the year, especially for our childcare providers. Don't forget to rest, and don't forget to take care of yourself. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. Thank you.